He's adorable. Harry Tyson, if you're watching, you have a beautiful wife and a beautiful daughter. Love you, Harry Tyson. Give the show a like and a share. Give the show a like and a share. We'll have some fun with Keith Smith on the Friday edition. He's dubbed them Batman and Robin.
Ew.
I like the Batman and Robin, too.
Judah, I just texted you that picture. You should put it up so everybody can see.
Oh, we'll show the photo on screen that Keith just showed me of his oldest daughter and oldest granddaughter.
There you go. Well done.
Oldest daughter and oldest granddaughter. I had to think about that for a second. Because
makes
you
two of
have one grandson.
Got grandson, got little Harry.
Two granddaughters.
Two granddaughters.
How many daughters do you have, Keith?
Two.
Just check.
That I know of.
What are their middle names?
Middle name? Stop it. Let's move on.
We're going to have some fun. We know it's why.
They got two middle names, so it gets confusing.
Stephanie Rhodes, hello. Welcome to the show.
Yasmina,
We just sent you some awesome artwork, Stephanie. Check that inbox over there for your fantastic
Stephanie
company,
knows about the whole
Interstate.
grandkid thing.
Oh, my gosh. Stephanie is an amazing... What's the nickname they use for you, Stephanie? Is it Grandma? Is it Mimi? Is it Gamma? What are they calling you? But she spends many days with her granddaughters.
I'm jealous.
Like during the day while her beautiful daughter is teaching school.
I am jealous. Ours are in Seattle and Connecticut.
Grammy.
Yona's name is Gigi. Gigi Mom, actually. And mine is Pop Dad.
Oh, Pup Dad's good.
Yeah, so...
My in-laws are in town now, and they're amazing people. Their nicknames are Mimi and Pee-Pee.
Oh, you've got in-laws in?
Yeah, my
cool.
in-laws are in town for March.
There you go. For the whole month?
Whole month. I will say this, and Stephanie can relate to this, you can relate to this, anyone out there can relate to this. Having help with young children, in particular babies or young toddlers, is invaluable. It helps sanity, it helps a marriage, it helps quality of life, it helps. It's so important, having help.
So our youngest daughter and youngest granddaughter and husband are moving to Richmond here soon, and we already got the babysitting schedule sent to us. My daughters may be planners. I don't know where they got that from. Probably Yona, I think, maybe. But they're planners. They got that from me. And so they've got the whole babysitting schedule mapped out. So
I love it.
Literally, they put it on my calendar.
I love it. We're going to show the photo of Keith and his grandkids here in a matter of moments. Judah Wickower, we could rock and roll when you're ready. Let's have some fun. Good Friday morning, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and this is Real Talk with Keith Smith. Thank you kindly for joining us. The show that highlights life and the pursuit of quality of life on the I Live Seville Network. It's presented by Yes Realty Partners. We were talking grandchildren and babies and toddlers to begin the show in the pre-production meeting, and now starting the program now. I think. Do you have the photos of
it's just
that
one
Keith just
photo.
showed us? One photo?
Yeah, the man's working.
This is your oldest daughter and your oldest granddaughter. One of the beautiful things about being a grandparent, I've been told, is you get to give them back. You get to spoil them, you get to love them, and you get to give them back.
Yeah, well, we're not around them enough to kind of get that give them back thing going on, because they're in Seattle and Connecticut. But I'll tell you what, I have no idea what we would do without FaceTime.
Oh, FaceTime's huge.
We
use it all the time.
literally have breakfast with them every morning. Not the ones in Seattle. It's a little bit too early.
3-hour difference.
But
they're moving.
They're moving
to
Seattle.
Richmond.
Yeah, to Richmond. Excuse me. Yeah, we're super excited about that. We got to find them a house. That's been a challenge, but in today's housing market, it's a roller coaster ride, emotional roller coaster ride. But we're trying to get them a home there so they could be a little bit closer. And as we said in the what do we call that? The warm up?
Yeah.
The
Mics are going hot.
Mike's going hot, warm up.
Yeah.
We
I like
already got August because they're moving in July, August, September, October, November, December. We already got a year of scheduled babysitting setups for us. So we're excited about it.
I'm excited for you as your family, which is already very close, gets even closer as they go from West Coast to East Coast. You're helping them hunt for their first home?
We are helping them hunt for their first
Literally
home.
as we speak.
We are hunting.
Yeah. You guys are house hunters.
We bring our little it's, what is he, a Tennessee, he's a mixed breed, but I think he's a Tennessee.
You're talking Forrest?
Yeah, Forrest,
Okay,
thank you.
your dog.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I was trying to get out, what are you laughing over there for? A Tennessee Walker Hound. If you keep on laughing like that, I'm going to make you put a camera and a microphone
I'm
on.
laughing about who else he might have been talking about.
He has a camera and a microphone.
Yeah.
in
Look
front
at
of him.
that.
Thank
Look
you,
at
Judah.
that. How many months did it take to get the hint? We're getting there, right?
He's doing a great job. You got that picture you can put on screen?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're taking our house hunting hound. That's it. I knew there was an acronym there. House hunting hound.
With you to Richmond.
Yeah, we go everywhere with that thing.
Yeah.
So.
Forrest is in the car now, right?
No. We have meetings all day today. Hence the tie and the jacket.
Look at that. Look at the man's looking sharp over there.
And then, thank you. And then we're gonna go see Elvis Costello and the Imposters tonight. So, gonna do a little pre-dinner cocktail, a pre-show cocktail and dinner, and we're gonna go see that. And I was thinking about that today. You know, how cool is this town, right?
Oh, town's the best.
We've got the ability.
Some would say you can actually love Charlottesville. I love Charlottesville. Did you know that? I love Seville.
It's kind of what.
I mean, it's so good. I actually love it. I love it.
Yeah. Was that a door you opened that I was supposed to walk through?
No, I mean,
and
I wasn't sure what you were going to do there. That one wasn't as...
Really, it's funny. Yona and I, our first meeting today is at 12 o'clock, and we talk about this all the time. When we have our schedules kind of synced, we take one vehicle in, right?
Okay.
So we're driving in, and so Yona dropped me off at the set, and then she went to the office. And so I said, look, I'll tell you what, I'm going to end the show, and then I'll walk to the office. This way you don't have to come pick me up and might be late for the 12, And,
I know where this is going.
And she goes, well, if you would just shut up.
He's got the gift of gab, Yoda.
No, I don't. I think she was just saying, if you would just stop talking, maybe you would make it on the show, make it to the meeting on time. But anyway, I digress.
The photo is ready.
Oh, Kyle Irvin, we'll get to your comment here in a matter of moments.
Kyle.
Ray Cadell, we'll get to your comment in a matter of moments.
Hey, Ray, a shout out to you at your performance at the Daughters of American Revolution, the Constitution Hall. I actually was in D.C. that same weekend when you were doing it. I wish we would have bumped into each other.
Photo, Keith's oldest daughter and his oldest granddaughter on screen.
As we speak.
If you look at this photo,
There it is.
you will find it's incredibly adorable.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But notice that they're wearing the same clothes. I absolutely love this photo. This is a great pic.
So,
And does she have a little red cup in her hand? I believe she does.
Who? Vienna?
Yes.
God only knows. Vienna is wide open, 365 days a year.
I love it.
24 hours a day. It is
Respect.
very difficult to keep up with that. Matter of fact, I might have to reach out. I'm going in May. I'm doing a 100-mile bike race in May on the 21st. But the kids are doing a wedding, so I've agreed to go up early, a day early, which we've got to talk about, by the way. I won't be here on the show, to watch the kids for a whole day. So I'm not really sure if the 100-mile bike race or hanging out with them all day. Not sure which is going to wear me out more. I'm thinking hanging out with them all day.
I think it's going to be that.
I might be wrong.
Kyle Irvin, got a question for
Yeah,
you.
go
Ray
ahead,
Cadell,
Kyle.
we're going to highlight the closing of Ace Biscuit and Barbecue. That was announced earlier today. We're
Good.
certainly, we're certainly seeing the closings like you are, my friend. Makes us sad. We have a question from Kyle Irvin.
Oh, I heard. I thought closing as a resale of it, so it's actually shutting down.
Ace Biscuit and Barbecue is shutting down.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, we've had some notable ones closing
Yeah,
lately.
man.
Pie Chest,
That's an icon.
Ace Biscuit and Barbecue is an icon. And they
without
spent a
doubt.
considerable amount of money moving to a new location,
Yeah.
renovating said new
Yeah.
location, and having a grand opening in the second
Well,
location.
we'll get to the questions in a minute. Why do you think that's happening?
It's brutal, man. It's brutal because of labor and labor shortage. The cost of labor is becoming very difficult for businesses that rely on frontline workers. Service industry is certainly one. Cost of goods is volatile. I think the consumer is a little bit more frugal now as credit card debt is mounting and as that debt is more expensive because POW is raising rates. I just think it's a very fragile, especially in frontline businesses, wait staff, service industry, hospitality, catering, very fragile right now.
Is any of that due to lack of COVID money going away? COVID money going away, or is it really just the lack of? I mean, we've got a jobs report that came out earlier this morning. I didn't read the whole thing. A little bit better than expected, right? On that end of it, so it's just hiring frontline people is very difficult.
There's too many restaurants here, man.
Well, at one point,
it's to our advantage and to the fact that we get to live here and we have this spoils of riches. I mean, last night we were celebrating my wife's birthday with dinner at Public.
Happy
And
birthday.
My in-laws, thank you. In-laws, our two boys. And we were just sitting there and like, how lucky are we? Here we are in the middle of Central Virginia, literally Central Virginia, and we're eating shrimp po' boys and lobster rolls. And my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, they just went to a wedding in New Orleans, family.
Oh, yeah.
And they had po' boys in New Orleans, and they said the po' boy at Public is 50 times better than the po' boys they had in
that's
New
saying
Orleans.
something.
And that's saying something.
that is actually.
And Public is darn good.
Kaufman,
you do a great job, dude.
It's an interesting. It's an interesting conundrum. I don't know if that word came out.
That's great. Kyle Urban, your comments on deck. Go ahead,
Okay,
Keith.
got it. We're doing the 8 o'clock show at Paramount for Elvis Costello. I said, okay, great, honey. Where do you want to go for dinner? Let's go in the downtown mall and so forth and so on. And it was like a 10-minute conversation of where, right? Because we have so many options to pick from. And the question was where. And we ended up with Brasserie because I happen to, it probably makes the second best martini in my opinion in town, but that's
When was this?
I'm doing it tonight.
Oh, tonight. Okay.
Tonight, yeah.
Gotcha.
What I was trying to get at is that we've become somewhat of a foodie town. At one point, I think we were 14th
In the nation,
in
per
the
capita.
nation per capita.
And depending on who you talk to, some folks said that was in the top 10, our ranking. But I think confidently you can say at one point, 14th in the country, restaurants per capita. Per capita is the key word there, key phrase.
The key phrase, right? And that's a good thing and a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's a great thing for us who wants to go out. Maybe for the restaurants, too much is too much, right?
And frankly speaking, the lack of inventory and the fact that real estate is so expensive in this area is another contributing factor to the struggles of restaurants locally. Because folks can't afford to live here, and they're thinking, why am I going to commute 45 minutes from Waynesboro, or as Kyle Irvin's talking about from Stanton over here, to work in a restaurant in Charlottesville? A lot of people won't do that, so there's not enough folks to staff these restaurants
So
locally.
you know by reading my eyes and my body language that I've been doing numbers as we're talking. I actually wanted to take a quick look at year over year at Buckingham, because it came up in a presentation that Ned Galloway and I was doing to UVA's executive team and UVA's affordable housing team about the housing market and particularly what the Regional Housing Partnership does and how we can help and so forth and so on. And one of the questions, and I didn't have an opportunity to do it live as I was talking to all these folks, but it's very interesting. In 2022, the median sales price for single-family detached home in Buckingham was $250. The year before was $210. So that's roughly a 20%, 19% year-over-year increase. But why that $250 is so important, as the chair of the Piedmont Community Land Trust, I know what the sales price needs to be to hit an 80% AMI buyer. And that sales price right now needs to be somewhere between 200 and 225, depending on, if they can bring 3%, more than 3% to the table. And typically 3% is kind of the maximum they can bring to the table. So the maximum dollar amount that they can hit is 225. So even in bleeping Buckingham,
Yeah.
it's not affordable to that 80% AMI, frontline, service-related, the people who serve us, worker. And I had a conversation with some folks in the PD and the FD for the city of Charlottesville. They're telling me folks are driving an hour and a half to 2 hours to come to work.
That's bananas.
For under 40 grand.
Well, I mean,
But there's a question. I'm sorry.
yeah, well,
I digress.
look at Kyle Irvin. I think Kyle Irvin first off, Kyle, I sincerely mean this. I think you are fantastic at your job. You're a talented communicator and spokesman. And I won't get into the details there, but I think you're just excellent at what you do. Kyle Irvin, I'm a huge fan of you and your entire team, and I really love the positive progress that's being made within the department. And I think you already know this, but I want to emphasize this again. You specifically, your entire team from the top down, have a tremendous ally and evangelist in me for your efforts. I sincerely mean that, Kyle Irvin. He says this: guys, I'm looking to move near Charlottesville in a year. Me and the fiance are going to do some ride-alongs in surrounding counties. I've been told that Fluvanna was affordable, but I love the Scottsville area. Do you have any advice for a newly married couple looking for a home, $400,000 and under? $400K and under. He's currently living in Stanton. He wants to move to the area. He works in the city.
So tell me a little bit, Kyle, if you're comfortable with this, what you're looking for. We could do a quick search live. I'm assuming single-family detached, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, that kind of thing. But if I'm off track on that, let us know. And as you put that stuff in the feed and Jerry reports them into me, I'll do a quick little search on that end of it. And probably one of the first questions I would ask is, how important is internet to you? And do you wish to live in a HOA or not, right? Those are usually my 2 big first particular questions. So, how many bedrooms, how many baths, do I want to be in an HOA or not, and is internet super important to us? I mean, everybody's got a little bit of internet, but if you're working from home and you need really good upload and download speeds, that might narrow the pool a little bit. So if I can get those couple of basic outlines, I could just do a quick live setup for you. The very first thing we need to do, Kyle, is reach out to Scott Morris, and just the numbers come first. Find out what we qualify for, and more importantly, what programs you qualify for, particularly as a first-time home buyer, right? So there could be some incentives available to you from an interest rate perspective, down payment perspective, so forth and so on. So that's really our first step. But I think the question is more about availability. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. It was great to see you at the last community forum as well. Kyle, thank you for the kind words as well in the comment section. If you put in some of the specs you're looking for, and I think you're on point with some of the specs that you've already outlined, Keith, but if you put some of those specs in the comment section, we'll do a little search live on air. Johnny Ornalis.
Hey, Johnny.
Welcome to the show.
He got his old vehicle back.
I saw that on Facebook.
I saw that on Facebook.
Johnny Ornalis, the owner of Guadalajara and El Mariachi. Love you, J.O. He says no to Lake Monticello and an HOA.
Got it. Okay.
No to the lake
Got
and
it.
no to an HOA.
Okay.
Internet is a must, as I work from home a lot.
Got it.
Modern, newer home with some southern charm. 3 to 4 bedroom home.
Well, generally the first search, we try to kind of minimize it a little bit to the least amount of criteria, the better. When we start drilling it down, it's just because the inventory is
It's
just
so shallow.
So
3 to 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. Just
Got
trying
it.
to get a feel for what we can get for the
Got
price.
it. If you can hold it for about
Kevin
a minute.
Yancey says that house does not exist in this area for under $400,000.
Yeah. Well, let's find out.
And it'll be close. Kevin Yancey?
Well, a lot of it depends on the where, right? Location matters.
You can find a home like this in Albemarle, but it will be a drive. But Key's going to do a search.
Well, what the non-HOA is probably going to be more impactful than anything else. So just give me a few minutes, and I can plug in a few numbers in here, and we can figure it out live.
We love case studies on the program. We encourage
Thank you.
everyone to visit realtalkwithkeithsmith.com to see the trusted partners that he suggests working to get a home of your dreams. And Kyle adds more information. Maybe we're going to be looking at 500K or under. Who knows? Do we need to look at Green or go towards Gordonsville? Is another question.
Yeah, so I actually,
Gordonsville, Kyle, you love Gordonsville, man.
we are on the same track.
I'm in the Keswick area, Kyle. We spent some time in Gordonsville. Dude, I see some of the stuff you post on social, and I love, we have similar interests. You guys would very much like Gordonsville. You can walk around there. It's got a walkability factor. It's got a quality of life factor. It's got restaurants popping up. Craig Hartman's got 3 of them himself. Barbecue Exchange, the Ice House. Craig Hartman's opening a 3rd restaurant in Gordonsville. I believe it just opened. Neil Williamson's got Well Hung Vineyards. It's got a little nightlife to it and a little walkability. You can do maybe a little bar crawl if you want. I very much encourage you to consider that area. You're right next to Patch. Andre Xavier, if you're watching, I think you're doing a hell of a job with Patch Brewery. I am extremely bullish on Gordonsville. And you can get from Gordonsville to Charlottesville City in like 22 minutes. 23 minutes. And it's a beautiful drive.
What about a garage? Do we need a garage? Do we need a basement? Because at the moment in
23 minutes downtown Charlottesville, Kyle.
Yeah. So I am trying to do this live, which is always a challenge for Smith.
I mean, I would just get some basic criteria.
I'm working on it right now, sir.
I think that would be a place I would very much consider, and there's some affordability there. Multiple folks saying on other social channels that Gordonsville's primed to boom.
Yeah,
Let's put it in perspective. Paul Manning owns much of downtown Gordonsville.
It is, but I'll tell you one thing, that has changed quite a bit over the years. All righty, just give me a minute.
And there was some scuttlebutt that I had heard, or speculation that I had heard, that a hotel was coming to Gordonsville. A boutique hotel to Gordonsville is some of the scuttlebutt I had heard through the scuttlebutt grapevine over there, Keith Smith.
Yeah, I'm working on
Bob
it.
Yarborough says, as far as ACEs, specifically during the Corona lockdown, I learned how to bake really good biscuits. The frequency with which we dine out now compared to prior to 2020 has been reduced by 2/3. Yeah, that's another thing. And he says garage is not a must.
Yeah, so look, I mean...
No, the older lady does not own a lot of downtown Gordonsville. Mr. Manning does, downtown Gordonsville.
Yeah,
Kevin.
Albemarle, Charlottesville, Fluvanna, and I did Greene County, just to pick up. No HOA. I've kind of done a spread between $300,000 to $400,000. 3 bedroom minimum, 2 baths. You've got 16 properties available. It's actually a little more than I anticipated, to be frank with you, on that end of it. And the reason I did the 300 to 400, anything less than 300, maybe we might not have so much of the features and the conditions that we want. But there are homes available, and this is specifically outside of no HOAs, which is usually a difficult criteria, right? If we would add HOAs in, we might pick that up a little bit. So it's a little bit more than one might think. We'd have to take a deep dive into each individual listing and find out what the features and the conditions are of it. But we do have within that small little radius, or not small little radius, within that radius, 16 available to buy at this particular moment. There's a couple of them that are way up there, long on the tooth as far as days on market. are concerned, we probably end up filtering them out pretty quickly. A good stack of them, because I didn't filter out new construction, a good stack of them are new constructions of the 16. Hold on a second, I'll tell you how much they are. But anyway, you've got 4 of the 16 are new constructions.
The show's on fire right now. Jamie Turner, I did not know that. Jamie Turner, the mayor of Gordonsville, repping the PEP. Jamie Turner says no hotel anymore from what I'm hearing, unfortunately. And he loves the Gordonsville flavor.
Yeah,
on the show.
and
Is it completely, I mean, you may even know, I mean, you know the players.
And
as
I
well
know
as
the
do
players
here.
in that a little bit on that end of it, and I'm probably going to kind of recuse myself from talking
fair.
a little bit about it. But I think a boutique hotel would do well there.
It would crush it.
I think a boutique
Yeah.
hotel would do well there.
Yeah.
The traffic is unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
If you were on Route 15 going through that, we were there over the weekend. We stopped. We always come back and forth from D.C. that way, and we stopped in. We didn't go to Well Hung because I think it was either closed or a bit too late, and we always do the barbecue exchange, pick up a little bit of our pork fix, and keep on rolling on. If I add Louisa into it, that number jumps up to 34 units between the $300,000 to $400,000 price range. Again, a good percentage of them, but several of them are new construction on that end of it. But there are opportunities. Some of them have substantial amount of acreage at them. Not a lot, but ranging between 2 to 6 acres in that.
So there's options.
Yeah, so I think
Kyle, you got options. You and the missus got options here.
there's options. It's the price range of $400,000 kind of gets you in the game.
Yeah.
When you're back to my point, as I'm just talking about Buckingham County and 250, if there is the 80% AMI buyer, right? Even Buckingham is a bit expensive. If I was to go ahead and change that criteria to under $300,000, my suspicion is we would not have very much to look at. We would have 6 to look at.
He says a garage is not a must, but it would be nice. A basement is a must because he produces music and he doesn't want to annoy his lady with some music.
Great piece of information. So a basement is going to substantially...
That might limit some of the inventory options out there. We love these case studies.
Drops it down to 8.
8 if you want a basement. 400,000 is the threshold, the price point.
I got a 3 to 4.
300 to 400,000 in which counties?
I now added Louisa. It's Albemarle, Charlottesville, Fluvanna, Greene, and Louisa.
So there's 8 pieces of property. There's 8 houses on the market for sale in all those counties at $400,000 that have a basement.
If I add Nelson there, this is 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's minimum. It could go higher than that. If I add Nelson there, that number jumps to 9. If I add a garage in it, hold on a second here.
Jamie Turner, I'll get to these comments.
If I
in
add a
matter of
garage
minutes.
to that,
There's a basement with a garage at $400,000 in those counties?
$300,000 to $400,000, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and this may be what Kevin's thinking. This is not in an HOA, right? So if I was to pull that out and put it in an HOA, it's interesting. That actually goes down to 1.
Good Lord.
So there's actually
We
more
don't have an
homes.
affordability problem.
Well, we did that on a show, and I've got the numbers in my briefcase or my backpack over there. But if you add all that in basement, $300,000 to $400,000, you've got a total of 3 units available. One's in Nelson County, 2 is in Albemarle County. The one in Albemarle County has been on the market for none of its new construction for 246 days.
I mean, madre.
Yeah. And it's interesting, all of them, with the exception of the 246-day one, which is interesting, had price reductions. That one that is on the market, that's in the market for 246 days in Nelson County, did not reduce the price, which is strange. Hold on a second here.
JT says this, pretty far, but the town of Orange County has a lot of new construction that can meet this criteria.
I would agree.
Been sitting for a while, so there's potential for a few builder incentives.
agree.
A
But
few great commercial properties in downtown Gordonsville have hit the market over the last few months, but he says some of those are HOA'd, which may not appeal to Kyle.
Yeah,
So
so
Jamie's offering perspective, the mayor of Gordonsville, to Kyle Irvin on another Facebook page. I love the dynamic nature of the program.
So my suspicion is what we're trying to do is be closer to Charlottesville,
Yeah, that's where he works.
right? So if you're in Orange, I believe, did they say Fishersville? I can't remember.
He lives in Stanton.
Stanton.
Yeah, that's a hike
Yeah, but
to
Orange.
Charlottesville City Hall.
Yeah, but Orange and Stanton is probably the same amount of travel time.
Yeah, and I would imagine he would want to reduce it,
I would imagine. he would.
especially as he's getting married, wants to spend time with the missus and maybe grow a family.
So
Generally, that's
so
how it plays out.
So active, detached, the city of Charlottesville, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. I've dropped out any price criteria. I do need a basement. I do need a garage. Active, no HOA in the city
Yeah.
of Charlottesville, which is most of the city, but there is a fair amount of HOAs. 1 home available.
Lottie.
Been on the market for 2 days.
Where's it at?
2309 Highland Avenue for $685. Cute little house. Let's add in Albemarle County in there.
What are you using? Paragon? Yeah.
So I got to build the search.
Yeah, I know.
And that's the
Paragon's clunky.
I've got to build the search. I have set up
Yeah.
pre-built searches for the show, but the live ones we're doing, that's the reason I've got to filter out. I've got to add in certain information to meet Kyle's requirement.
He also adds, I'm used to commuting. The thing is, my fiance is looking at a master's program at UVA and does not want a long commute.
Yeah.
It takes him 40 to 45 minutes right now to get from Stanton to City Hall.
Yeah, so
Dude, I would, Kyle,
we want...
Gordonsville, dude. You would love it.
Yeah, but Gordonsville's a 30 to 45
Gordonsville to
minutes.
City Hall, Gordonsville to UVA is further. Gordonsville to City Hall is 23 minutes. I can get from Gordonsville to downtown Charlottesville in 23 minutes.
With or without a speeding ticket.
No, I mean, Jamie Turner, how far do you think it is? Legitimately. I am heavy-footed. I am heavy-footed. My wife would agree with that.
It's not even that. It's the time of the day.
Well, 100%.
It's the time of the day.
Sometimes that drive can be, if you catch a truck, a
On
slow
33?
vehicle, no, on, by what's the road in Keswick?
22, actually. I think it's 22, isn't it?
It's
The one that goes past Castle Hill.
Castle Hill and Keswick.
It's not 33. I think it's 22. Yeah, I know.
I don't
That's
think
a
you know.
scare.
I don't think you have any idea.
Well, I know the road. I just can't remember the damn number.
What is the number
I
of that
drove it
road?
100 times.
What is
Work
it-
with me here. Work with me.
What is the name of that road? Isn't it
I think it's 22.
the one that's in Castle Hill and Keswick Vineyards?
Yeah.
Goes all the way to Patch.
Absolutely.
Into Gordonsville.
Absolutely gorgeous ride. We have
Yeah.
no freaking
It's a
clue.
perfect, gorgeous ride. We just don't know what it's called. What's the name of that road, viewers and listeners?
Oh, somebody. Oh, God.
Somebody help us here.
But it's 100%. Shoots you straight into Shadwell.
Yeah, and if you don't, 231.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
231. Thank you,
I
Kevin.
had a 2. Does that count for anything?
231. 231.
That's I'm making him nervous. He's going.
231. I want to make sure it's 231. I think he's actually right. Kevin knows roads. Kevin's a professional driver. He knows roads.
Oh, is that coming from Kevin?
Yeah,
Kevin
he says it's 231. He's a professional driver.
Yeah, he wouldn't. I wouldn't even second guess that.
Yeah, he knows roads. Okay. You can make it from Gordonsville to downtown Charlottesville in 23 minutes.
Whoa.
Now, 231. Jamie Turner, that's what Kevin said. I think it's 231. JT, how long from downtown Gordonsville to downtown Charlottesville minutes? Now, if you get stuck behind a car, a slow-moving car, that could easily be 50 minutes.
Oh, you get stuck behind Kevin talking to us on the air.
Yeah, driving the truck.
Driving the truck. But I'll tell you one thing. It is absolutely a gorgeous ride.
Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely a gorgeous.
Arguably one of the most gorgeous rides in the area. You're driving through estate country.
Yeah. Little horsies.
Yeah.
Little moo-moos.
It's beautiful out there. As soon as you go from Keswick
But then you're stuck with
and
freaking,
over the Albemarle line, your price point of your house drops dramatically.
Well, I'm back on the drive. So depending on what time you need to get to City Hall,
It can be brutal at
And-
certain times.
you've got, it's like driving 81, right?
And there's this fabulous restaurant in Gordonsville called Well Hung Vineyards. Try Well Hung Vineyards.
The wine is out of this world.
The wine is great.
Food,
One-
not too bad either.
And one of the partners of the business is just a great guy. Occasionally dresses up as Captain America, surprises us at the studio, creates quality content. A lot of pop culture references in that
and keeps
content.
and one of the
It's going to shave Keith's mustache.
he is not
personally,
shaving my effing mustache.
live on air.
Will you stop telling people
Talking about
that?
Neil. Neil
People are
Williamson's
going
watching.
to do that.
President of the Free Enterprise Forum.
one of
All-around great guy.
One of the many plethora. Oh, you like that?
No,
word.
no, that does not work. He cannot say many plethora. He cannot say
Is that a
many
double?
plethora.
Is that- is
no,
that- okay.
Judah, 3-shot me.
Okay.
Can he many plethora anything? He cannot
Look,
many plethora.
Look, am I still the executive producer
you
of the
are
show?
the executive
I can
producer,
make a
but your wife
effing-
told me to keep you straight.
Who told me?
Your wife. She says, keep this man in check.
Plethora.
Yeah, not many plethora.
Well, that's just more plethora.
A plethora.
A plethora. Thank you.
Can
Thank
you say
the
one,
voice
one
of
of
God.
the many plethora?
No, you're right.
Okay.
You're right. It's many is, yeah. So anyway, a lot
Reminds
of
me of a
people in
joke.
my life that keep me straight, and apparently I've got 2 of them at the set right now.
I just spit on the computer.
Yeah, I just play with the computer. That's all I do.
No, I just spit. You made me spit on the computer out
Oh,
there.
did I make you spit on the computer? My right hearing aid died, so I'm only listening to you from my left ear. So anyway, yeah. So the trick with that though is just catching pantops right.
Yeah.
That's the trick,
Oh.
right? Because do you take pantops in from?
Okay, so this is what I do. Many folks know I live in eastern Albemarle County. I like to call it eastern Albemarle County.
There you go.
The Keswick area. As soon as I leave my neighborhood, I open up my phone and put in Google Maps, especially in the morning when I'm dropping off our oldest at school, for the route to take, because Google Maps, however it does it, aggregates
I
traffic
actually
data.
like Waze better. But
Waze is
okay.
great too.
I like Waze.
I like Waze for the police.
Yeah, because people are talking on
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
which
yeah.
they're not supposed to be when they're driving.
I get it to my neighborhood, I put in Google Maps, and I either go one of 3 ways. I either take a right out of the neighborhood and take Black Cat Road, literally going the opposite way
Yeah,
from
yeah,
downtown
sure.
Charlottesville.
Sure.
But I take the right out of the neighborhood,
hit
a left on
64.
Black Cat, and hit 64.
Yeah. Then come in on 20, right?
I'll come in
Monticello.
on, yeah, come in
on
there.
Monticello.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Second option is I'll take a left out of the neighborhood, take a left at the Clifton and Stone Robinson, and backdoor it through Milton Village and Carter's Mountain. Is that 53?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Milton Village and Carter's Mountain, and then come back in down Belmont and is that Avon? No, that's 20. I think that's
No,
20.
it'd be Monticello.
By Monticello.
It's the
I'll
same
come back.
thing.
Same way,
You're
same
just
track.
catching Monticello from a different area.
There you
that's
go.
all.
And then the primary way, the fastest way, depending on traffic, is taking a left out of the neighborhood and just going down Pantops and
That's
this
assuming-
divergent intersection or divergent, whatever you call it. What do you call it?
Let me try
Please.
to use proper terminology here. I will not make up words here. Divergent diamond interchange.
There it is. Keith Smith, bravo, amigo.
Don't ask me to speak English. That stuff I can
But he
speak.
knows that. He was very influential in bringing the roundabout
No. Well, the roundabout, yes.
to Zion's Crossroads.
No, that's not a roundabout. That's a divergent diamond interchange. That I was not part of.
Okay, is
The
the
roundabout at 53 and Lake Monticello or 618, I was.
You were a part of that one.
I was very much
Is
so.
the same the one at Zion's Crossroads, the one at
Divergent
Diamond
interchange.
Is it the same Zion's and Pantops?
Yes.
It's the exact same design?
Exact same design's a bit erroneous. Another
It's
big
there.
word. Again, have no clue what it means, but it sounded
Yes, you
good.
do.
Erroneous. I'm 99.999% sure the right of way for the 250 64 Divergent Diamond Interchange is substantially smaller. In other words, the amount of land they had to work with than in Zion's Crossroads. Zion's Crossroads, they had a little bit more. And the reason they did it in Zion's Crossroads is because they didn't have enough to do the traditional clover, right? Look, four-leaf clover type of intersection. And when it's up and running, right, and marked correctly, because that's the big problem with the 250.
With the Pantops one.
The Pantops one, it's not. They haven't finished it and correctly marked the road, so people know where they're driving. It supposedly moves the same amount of volume of traffic as a four-leaf clover.
I'll say this: the Pantops.
It's gotten better.
It's gotten way better.
Well, I think that had a lot to do with. I think they got the timing on the lights wrong.
Well, it was that. And VDOT, the spokesman for VDOT, actually was an old boss of mine at the Daily Progress, Lou Hatter.
Oh, really?
He was one time the managing editor of the Daily Progress when I was working there. Now he's the spokesman for VDOT. He said that the timing was wrong, and we're going to dial in the timing of the lights better to help the flow of traffic. But what they really did, and you made this prediction, was as soon as the the cones and the hazardous signage and like the heavy equipment and machinery and workers dissipated, the traffic flowed great.
Yeah, so if you drive through that,
It's much better.
if you drive through that, you know the little telltale you know that they're not done is when I may get a little development geeky on you here. So when you have the curb and gutter,
Yeah.
right? When you see the 2-inch difference.
Oh, it's still there.
So
Yeah.
so that means they've got another 2 inch of pavement to
Yeah.
go on top of it.
Yeah.
Once that 2 inches of pavement, and that's the last thing you're going to do. It's kind of like when you build a house. What's the last thing you put in before I hand the house over to you? The effing carpet, because inevitably somebody walks in with a pair of muddy boots and screws up the carpet on it. So that gets done. Once that gets done and gets marked, the flow of traffic will be much better because people will be able to follow it. Right now, it's so poorly marked.
Yeah.
I know how to drive through them, and I was driving through it the other day. I was like, whoops, I'm in the wrong lane.
Was that when you were coming from Fluvanna into town?
No, the other way.
The other way?
Going from Fluvanna into town seems to, at least for me anyway, seems to flow a lot better.
From Fluvanna into town, the only catchy spot is getting in that left lane where you think you can keep going straight down Pantops Mountain, but that left lane turns into a lane that turns into Martha Jefferson Hospital. And then you quickly have to shift from the turn lane into the straight lane.
You've got enough runway if you're paying attention.
You do have enough runway. Yeah.
But coming eastbound,
Yeah, it's tighter.
right? If you're not in the right lane, you might accidentally end up in the 64 turn.
100%.
And then once you exit that, you've got to quickly move to the right.
To the right, or you're going on 64.
No, or you've got to merge into 250 because 250 at that point. Correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't turn into a one. It turns
into one by Greg Bartlesky State Farm.
That's
and
right.
Coors Brothers.
And Coors Brothers, exactly right. So you've got that merge, but part of that merge is also a left into the hotel. It's not marked very well.
Right, it's not marked that well.
So once they get that done, I think the traffic the flow will get a lot better.
Kevin Yancey, the line painters have that all wrong. The lines go through the intersection should be solid, meaning no lane changes through the intersection on Pantops. It is a cluster, Kevin. I'll give you that.
So Kevin, when it gets, I would be shocked when it's finished and they do that last 2 inches of top coat on it and mark it, it better be solid.
Yeah.
Well before the intersection and well after the intersection, because that's what gets folks. And then it hasn't. They got to mark it on the pavement, right? This lane for 64 west, right, east, depending on which way you're going on west. So we shall see.
Kyle Urban, I think you trust me on a lot of things here, my friend. I would very, very much endorse Keith and his beautiful wife, Yona.
Yeah, we'll find you something.
As someone who can help you find this dream home, man.
Takes a little patience.
These guys move mountains for people. I've literally seen it firsthand, Kyle.
Well, we talked about.
Can't speak highly enough of this guy and his character and his hard work. He will run through fire for his clients. Literally, I've seen him do it.
Little fires, not big fires, little fires.
You got some burns.
I do. I got some burns. I do. Here's an example. We started the beginning of the week on Monday's
listen
show.
to this.
Right? We lost 4 contracts.
Tell 'em why.
Same. Outbid.
Listen to this.
Outbid. They were cash bids. Outbid by 6 figures. We just lost them. Same 4 clients we put under contract in the last 2 days. So it's just a bit of a roller coaster ride right now, and it requires patience. It requires trusted advisors. It requires to have all our ducks in a row, and the ability to negotiate, and the ability. I talk about this all the time. It's 6 things, right? What's the word you use? Ad nauseum? What's the word?
Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but anyway.
You use them often.
I do, because
Yeah.
I'm trying to be consistent.
Yeah, I like it.
Location, price, features, condition, timing. And on the other side matters. And why that matters is on Saturday we're looking at another couple of houses for the kids that are coming, my daughter and son-in-law that are coming from Seattle. So, this funny thing I'm holding in my hand, it's great for texts. Actually, you can do compasses on it. It's really cool on that stuff.
He's holding a phone.
Thank you. I'm
He's holding a phone.
I'm holding a phone.
For those that are streaming in their vehicles.
Yeah. But
While driving the
you-
Divergent Diamond
interchange. Good for you.
Thank you. I learned something today.
You can actually make phone calls on this thing. It's really a cool tool. So, you pick up the phone, you call the agent on the other side, you start asking leading questions, or W questions, as I call it: who, what, when, where, and why. Find out what the motivation of the seller is. See what information you can glean from the other side without crossing any lines, which then helps inform us making an offer on it. It puts us in a better position to win. We may not win all of them, but it's interesting. I was thinking, Leon and I were talking on the way in. All these 4 buyers that we lost last weekend, that we put under contract in the last 2 days, to a couple, said, "My God, this is a better house than the one we lost." To a person. So patience matters. Keep plugging. It's a roller coaster of a ride. It's up and down, right? Monday I was not exactly as chipper as I am today, right? That could be the coffee. But as chipper as today, and it's a roller coaster ride, and we go through these roller coaster emotional rides with our buyers and our sellers. We've got 3 to 5 listings coming up that just all happened in the last 3 or 4 days, since Monday anyway, on that end of it. So the market tempo is definitely picking up. So be patient. It's out there.
I like to hear that, Keith.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good feeling to help people. We love doing that.
I like to hear that.
Not about the money. It's about helping people.
I like to hear that. Kyle, thank you for trusting us with some of those finer points of
Yeah.
your life.
Big time.
Scott Morris leaving a comment.
Lou, Scott, get a pre-qual letter.
He says, of the TV, if the TV is on, what's the bond market and 30-year mortgage doing? Something I said it would? Is it doing what you said it would do?
Is that a dig?
Is it?
I don't know. We're
Scott knows that Scott Mortgage Morris is watching the program. He knows the TV's on in the studio because it always is, and the TV is always on CNBC. We watch CNBC here from 8 a.m. till sometimes 8 p.m. So
It's
he
just
knows
on
that
silent at the moment.
It's on silent because we're doing the show. We can take it off silent if we need to. He says, is the bond market and the 30-year mortgage doing what he said it would do? Well,
Is it dropping?
what's it doing, Scott?
Yeah.
Right now, we
He
got a
actually thinks we
guy
can read.
talking about what the Fed's next move is, so I'm sure that storyline will come up. Scotty Moe, tell us what it's doing. We'll relay it live on air. Ray Cadell for Keith Smith, but buyers absolutely need to be ready to roll and have their ducks in a row. The market is moving, so they better button their stuff up.
That's exactly right. So what was the first thing?
You said talk to Scott Moe. Kyle Irvin should talk to Scott
Kyle,
Morris.
the very first thing we need to do is put ourselves in a good fiscal position, make sure that we have a good pre-approval letter, that we're ready to go. And it's more important to use a local trusted advisor. I can tell you, if we were trying to compete against offers and Ray would agree or disagree, I don't know. But when you start seeing, if you're on the listing side and you start seeing lenders that are not local trusted lenders like Scott, you get put on the bottom of the pile a little bit. So interesting.
Scotty Moe has got multiple people giving him props on this show. He's got Jamie Turner referring business to him. He's got Keith Smith referring business to him. He's got folks heading his way, Scotty Moe of Ross Mortgage. And Scott's basically saying the market's doing exactly what I was saying in the comment section here.
Yeah.
He's saying 25 bips improved on the 10-year, and mortgage-backed securities almost 70 bips better.
And the follow-up question to him, what he can type it in, is why. But
why is that happening?
Why he's doing that? So everybody knows
I got 3 loan officers on the feed literally right now.
So as everybody knows who watched the show, I follow the market monitor of all our jurisdictions in car footprint and a constant running 7-day snapshot. So it's interesting. On Monday, we had 7 days going backwards, right? We had 76 homes come on new. Today, 7 days back, we had also 76. But it's really interesting. Monday, we had 76 go pending. Today, so basically in the last 7 days, we've had 93 homes go pending. So I'm not smart enough to do a quick math difference between that, but we've had a substantial jump in pendings just this last 7 days. The inventory staying flat. We're still at 76 versus today versus Monday, but right now we jumped from 76 to 93 into pending, which goes to, and 4 of them are us, but from the point of the market is doing this roller coaster ride, and it's the best thing, even though Scott wants us to look at the big screen and the monitor over there, the best thing to really do is stay away from that and just get Scott and trusted advisors to help you manage through this, like folks like Ray, who definitely, Ray, I believe, has been doing this longer than Yon and I have on that.
Lonnie Murray, the king of the environment, welcome to the program. Scotty Moe, Scott Mortgage Morris, said the U.S. 10-year was at 4% yesterday pre-market. It's now below 3.7%, the U.S. 10-year.
So that's a couple of bases? No, hold it. That's,
was at 4% yesterday pre-market, now below 3.7%.
yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
It's on screen.
3 point. It's weird. Why do they show
3.699?
They should show that green, that red. They're showing it red because it's going down.
Yeah, 3.699.
But it should be green because it's really up.
The 30-year fixed, 15-year fixed, and 30-year jumbo. 30-year fixed looks like it's a firm 7 here, does it not?
Hold on a second. At a certain age.
36 years Ray Cadell's been in the business, he says, Keith.
Yeah, so I think he beats us by a year.
And you've been in there 35.
Since 87, I think that's 35 years.
Yeah.
So close enough.
Yeah. Almost 36.
Almost 36,
Yeah.
But you know, he's an awesome guy. I love having, I've never had a conversation with Ray.
Yes, Kyle Irvin, Ray Cadell's son, works at the Barber's Den. That's Ray Cadell, as at Ray Razors. So the Ray Cadell that's commenting is the very talented horn player and real estate broker, Ray Cadell and Associates. His son, who has the same name, Kyle, is Ray Cadell, Ray Razors on Instagram, one of the most talented barbers in the Commonwealth of Virginia. They are kin, father and son. Ray Cadell on the I Love Seaball group, Kyle Irvin was asking if there was a connection between you two guys, so I'm answering it live on air. And Scott says the yield is down.
Yeah, no,
Scott, you might be picking up some business today.
Yeah, I get the yield. The yield is down, which quite hasn't probably filtered to the 30-year yet. It takes a little bit of time to do that. My comment is in reality, when the yield goes down, that's a positive for the 30-year fixed, right? So in my mind, it should be green instead of red.
Yeah,
But
I got where you're coming from.
Yeah. I'll shut up now. Just drink
No,
coffee.
come on.
I'll shut coffee. It's okay.
I understood where you were coming from. And it sounds like you got some positivity to relay that the market is picking up. Why don't we create a piece of sizzle reel content here, Judah?
No.
This puts pressure on him when I say this.
I hate that.
It makes it easier for Judah to cut when I clearly
I
say
know what it
cut
does.
here.
I know what it does.
It does put pressure on you to do it. Look, he's fidgeting. He's getting nervous. He's fidgeting.
I just rather do my thing and you cut it out. But if
Give us Keith Smith,
no
co-owner,
question.
Yes Realty partner. Yes, he's a realtor. Yes, he helps people buy and sell homes. He's not just an award-winning broadcaster. He's a realtor as well. How is the market doing right now? Are we seeing a potential pickup in inventory? We know we need the inventory in this market.
Well, the short answer is, looking at the last 7 days, the inventory is not picking up. It's flat. But the tempo of going under contract has picked up quite a bit. So the tempo of buyers, the tempo of folks coming into the market, which has kind of all been predicted, right? So, there's no such thing as a spring market anymore, in my opinion. Spring market kind of starts in January and February on that end of it, but the buyers are in the market. So this 93 under contract in the last 7 days is telling me 7% interest is impacting buyers. So it is not impacting buyers, but we're not getting that inventory creep up that I'd like to see. But we are getting the buyers in. So again, if you're looking to sell, man, this is about the best time in the world to do it, because you've got the buyers out there. You've got buyers out there that are not afraid of 7% mortgage on that. They know marvelous Scott Mortgage Morris is right, that at some point that 7 is going to drop to somewhere around 5, maybe this year, maybe the beginning of next year. If you got a 1.5 to 2 point spread, refinance it, get in the game now, start building your equity. We were talking about this, I think, on Monday. Just in the city of Charlottesville, single family detached, the first 2 months of 23 versus 22 is up 8%. So if you would have bought a home in 2022 in the city of Charlottesville, you just gained 8% in appreciation just in 1 year.
That's bananas.
So get in the market, start building your equity, start building your even if it's not the perfect forever house, something like you did, right? You moved into a condo, you start building some equity, you used your equity to climb the housing ladder, and well, you used it for some other things. But anyway, so did I do okay?
You did great. That's a sizzle reel right there.
I hate that. I hate it when you tell me to do
First
that.
First place I owned, the Villas of Southern Ridge. Condo, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a den. Now a rental property, investment property for the family and I. So I concur with what Keith said. The first house doesn't have to be the perfect house. The first house is an opportunity for you to build somewhat of a savings account and build some equity. So you could utilize that equity in that savings account if you wish to climb the housing ladder. Or do what I do, take the first house and turn it into an investment property that you can utilize to supplement your livelihood.
It's really interesting that you said that. So the 40 and under crowd,
they do that. They want to do that.
Every single one of them that we're working with. Every single one of them, that is one of the questions, and maybe some folks that are over 40, but just to put an age to it, every single one of them they asked us this question. So tell me, how does that work? What does that look like? Okay, look, my daughter and son-in-law are doing this. Okay, we're going to get into it. We're going to stay in it for a couple of years, maybe have a second kid. Yay. Have a second kid, more grandkids. And at that point, as our income increases, we'll move over to something else and keep that. So tell me what that looks like and how can I achieve that? And usually the first answers I always give when you start getting into your first home, buy one less of what I buy every day, or a couple of them every day, and start paying towards your principal so you can get your equity. Not equity, you can get your loan value down on that end of it, so you can end up with some appreciation. That's the word I'm looking for. Some appreciation in the home, and use that capital to do something else with it. So it's under the 40ish and under. That's what they're doing.
I love it. Keith Smith always making us smarter on this program.
Oh, I don't know about that. And I make up new words.
No.
I make up new
Keithisms.
words. I make up new words.
Keithisms.
I make up new words.
It's endearing.
I'm really, you know what I'm really excited about what should be coming out very soon?
What's that?
And we do this on the show. We talk about this every year around this time on the show. I just realized what I just said every year.
What's that?
We've been doing this for 4 years.
That's great.
But
You've become the voice of real estate locally.
or as Mrs. Smith said, if you stop talking, you might make the appointment on time.
He's closing deals.
Oh, I don't know. I just maybe just talking.
No.
But the NAR puts out a generational report every year, and it usually comes out in April. So I'm excited to see that. And the reason I think that's important because I want to start taking a look at what the Zs, the millennials, and all this stuff have done in 2022. So it comes out in 2023, but it's really 2022 numbers on it. You know, where did they buy? What type of home did they buy? How long did they plan to stay in? You know, National Association of Realtors are good at many things. They excel at data. And so I'm really super excited about doing that. And that might tell us a little bit about where trends are going to go forward on it. You know, I can tell you just looking at last year's in the age groups of 23 to 31, 32 to 41, and 42 to 56, which is entering the Giza range. 85%, 87%, 86% of them wanted single-family detached homes, which is not what everybody's been predicting years and years ago, that age group would be moving into townhomes, into the city. It's like the apartments and condos are down to like 1%, 2%. This is nationwide. Townhomes are 7%, right?
What do you attribute that to?
I attribute it to the exact conversation I'm having with my son-in-law and daughter and first grandchild. I want a yard. I want some place the dog can run around. I want some place the kid can run around.
The old American dream.
It hasn't changed. We're in 80%, but it's really interesting. You know, the geezers, that would be me, they're down to, in single-family detached, are down to 74%. The actual wanting to be in townhomes and condos it's still under 10%. It's 9%. This is nationwide, of course, and that's because I want somebody else to take care of the lawn. I want somebody else to take care of the outside of the unit, that kind of thing. But you know, when you're in the high 80s, and I won't bet it because I'll probably lose it. I can't afford any more mustache losses. I'll bet you that number is going to be closer to 90%.
Our buddy Neil Williamson says you and Elvis Costello have very similar glasses.
I'm looking forward to that show.
You're going to the show tonight.
It's going to be a great show. Just think about this little town. Elvis Costello is a pretty big name.
Yeah. What's your favorite Elvis Costello song?
You know, it's interesting. I actually prefer what he's written more than what he has sung. So Elvis Costello is really a songwriter, and it's off the top of my head, I can't think of it, but you know, he's more of a songwriter. I enjoy. He's married to a jazz pianist by the name of Diana Krall, who I happen to love very much so. Actually, a little bit more than Elvis Costello.
Oh.
I'm a jazz fan, so, and particularly piano jazz is, you know, and she's a good singer, Canadian, but. Pretty interesting couple. I'm kind of hoping she shows up. That would be really cool.
So you're having cocktails and dinner at Brasserie Saison. Did I say that right, Judah? Thank you.
Pretty much.
And then you're going to Elvis Costello.
Yeah. We're gonna grab a cocktail, a little bit of mussels and frites, a little bit of mussels and French fries. I did my 15-mile bike ride this morning, so I can enjoy
you can indulge.
I can indulge on that. And Neil, shout out to Jim Friedel. I had a meeting with Jim Friedel yesterday on
Love Jim Friedel.
Man.
Was on the show last Friday, Real Talk with Keith Smith.
And there was a question that I asked him because we're working on something in Greene County. And the man called me at 8:30 at night. This is a county official. Called me at 8:30 last night with the answer.
Good job, Jim Friedel.
That is huge. And I was teasing him in the meeting. I said, well, since you're wearing so many hats, why don't you kind of take the hat at Fluvanna and maybe some of these other counties? And
He's good at his job.
he is awesome. And he comes from and he'll tell you this, he comes from a different perspective. He's been in the private sector. He's sat behind the seat as a board of supervisors, so he understands the job on that end of it. And he's not afraid to say what he thinks, which is a rare thing in local county government.
Keith Smith, people asking about the Ace Biscuit and Barbecue closing.
I don't know.
You see that news, Judah?
I'm just bummed out about it.
Ace Biscuit and Barbecue closing.
Yeah, I wish them only best of luck. Hopefully, it's a good transition for them. Do we know why? We don't know why. Is it a retirement or is it?
He said in the Facebook post, exact words from the owner. Ready?
I'm ready. Got a pen, red pen.
Things just aren't what they used to be.
Yeah,
And it's time for us to move on to the next chapter of our lives.
Yeah.
We've laughed, loved, and lost a lot these past 11 years. Thank you for the memories, smiles, and genuinely good times. This decision didn't come easy, but is absolutely necessary for our well-being.
Yeah.
We are brokenhearted, but also excited for what is to come. It has been a wild ride, and we are happy you were part of it.
So A, thank you for being in the community for 11 years and going through that, and B, only the best of luck. You know, the transitions are hard, man, and I don't know the gentleman, so I don't know what his
Just
age.
come on the show, Brian.
I don't know what his age
Ashworth.
is. Is he close to mine or younger?
No. He's younger than you.
Younger than that,
Yeah.
yeah. The older you get, transitions are far much harder.
I know he's having a hard time finding labor.
Yeah.
Man, it's sad. Peloton Station, we lost in December. We lost Aces, Biscuit and Barbecue. We lost Taste Shack, right?
So
We've lost some good spots of late. I mean, we've lost restaurants that,
iconic.
yeah. Pie Chest is closing in 3 days.
That
Pie
line was
Day?
out. I went to get my coffee this morning. That line was out the door.
The last day for Pie Chest, guys, is Pie Day, 3.14,
Yeah. And,
March 14th.
And that I couldn't figure out what was going on, but they had a line out the door. People were just grabbing pie. I actually driving in said, you know what? I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of pie. We'll eat pie on set. And I would have been late for the show.
Well, you better go Monday.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go Monday, you need to go early because their last day is Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm training for a race. I got to stay away from pie.
On Tuesday, that line's going to be down Market Street.
Yeah.
Pie Day and their last day?
Yeah. I don't know what the big event was for today, but I grab a cup of coffee there regularly before the show. We usually walk in, get a cup of coffee, and walk out. But there was a line out the door, so didn't get a chance to talk to the guys in there and find out what the whole thing was. They were a little frazzled because it was like 15, 20 people.
Easily.
Easily.
And that was there an hour before you got here.
Oh, really?
When I walked into here in the 8 o'clock hour, it was like that. So that means it was almost 90 minutes like that.
So what do you got going on for the weekend?
Firefly also for sale, guys. Rebecca's for sale.
That is huge.
Ace Biscuit and Barbecue was for sale. That did not sell. Instead, it closed. Rebecca's very profitable. Peloton's closed. Pie Chest is closing.
What's going to slide? What do you have any idea? You know, your little magic wand. What might be sliding in there, or they're going to be sitting vacant?
To Peloton?
No, to either one of them.
I think Peloton is a phenomenal location.
I love that location.
It's got a phenomenal layout. It's a phenomenal location. Phenomenal footprint. But it's a big restaurant. And rents are tied to square feet. Shannon Worrell owns that.
Yeah.
And I think Shannon's going to have to maybe make that space smaller.
Yeah.
Smaller.
Cut it up.
Or adjust the rent a little bit. Or it's going to remain vacant for some time.
In a previous life, I actually didn't get it, but I put an offer in to buy the Coke building next to it.
That's a great building.
Loved that.
Shannon Worrell owns that.
Yeah, I lost to her.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't lose. It was not even a competition. But yeah, so that's a great block, a great neighborhood. You've got, I think, didn't they just open up a Starbucks or something right across the street from that?
Mud House. There's a Mud House there.
No, there's a mud house behind it. But didn't that right across, right where Habitat for Humanity used to be, on the other side? I may have the wrong block.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Wasn't it like
There's
a
a
takeaway?
Starbucks on West Main that's a takeout Starbucks where the Pizza Hut used to be.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
right across, well, up and across
Yeah,
a little bit.
that's a hop, skip, and a jump from Peloton.
Hop, skipping, and jump. Are
Yeah.
we hopping and skipping and
It's
jumping?
a hop, skip, and a jump.
Hop,
I'd say
skipping,
that's
and
fair.
jump. There you go. So I have strict orders to shut up and stop talking
Well,
at 11:30.
Yeah, because you have to make a 12 o'clock meeting.
I got to huff it from here to.
I've been notified.
Yeah, Mrs. Smith has notified you. I actually believe that.
I wasn't notified. I'm just joking. I told a fib there.
No.
Ray says she also played the Paramount, the artist that you were talking about.
Yeah,
played the
I
Paramount.
attended that. Diana Krall, and I seen her in Paris 20 years ago, which is really neat.
We got Katrina Colson on the I Love Seagull show at 12:30.
I did not know that.
Yeah, running for delegate.
Yeah.
Chair of the school board.
There you go.
Attorney for City of Charlottesville.
That should be a great show.
I think it will be a good show. My friend, your weekend busy?
Yes, very busy. Yona's running the Haven 8K 5-mile race. I'm going to do a bike ride while she's doing that.
Whoa.
Then I got to clean up and run into Richmond to look at a couple houses to see if we can buy for the kids. And then I've got Sundays packed with appointments. So I've got a full weekend. Monday, I think it's just you and I.
I love it. I love it.
I think it's you and I on Monday. I think I just didn't have it. We've been so busy this week, I haven't had time to line up somebody. So we'll just have a little fun
Keith
on
Smith.
Monday, take a look at the market over the weekend.
Love it. One of my favorite weekends. Favorite shows is when it's Keith and I. Judah Wickhower is the director. Anything you see on screen, it's because of Judah's talent. Judah keeps us online. He keeps us looking fresh, and he keeps us sounding
And
fresh.
corrects my language. Thank you.
Judah Wickhower, J-Dubs, Judah B. Wickhower. Keith Smith, his show archived at realtalkwithkeithsmith.com. We encourage you to click the partners tab on realtalkwithkeithsmith.com where you will see, I see that, where you will see trusted advisors. The text has come in.
Mrs.
Show is
Smith
ending
said,
right now.
Said,
It's
shut
11:30.
Up. Stop talking.
Katrina Colson on the I Love Seville show in 1 hour. So long. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you
Good
for keeping.
timing.
Thank you for keeping me on track.
You got to walk over there.
I got to walk over there in the rain.
Well, let's stop raining.
I got an umbrella.
Yeah.
I won't melt.
No.
The hair might melt.